So, good morning or good afternoon. I don't know when you will see it. What we will record is for the people who already know the empathy, they know how to respond empathically. And when they find themselves under pressure, inner pressure or under pressure, exterior pressure, they still lose themselves.
Good morning for me too. And yeah, it's a video for everyone who is interested how they can continue with their NVC skills and language, and at the same time keep calm in their body and um, keep in contact, in connection with themselves and with others under pressure.
We will present ourselves that you know a little bit more about us. I'm Magdalena Sendor, and I'm Polish. I'm certificated trainer of nonviolent communication, but I'm inspired also by internal family system and some authentic movements which are close to the dance. And I work mostly with people through the workshops, through coaching. And one thing that is really important for me and crucial in my job, this is a conflict resolution. This was a big change for myself to understand what conflict means and how I can approach conflict and how I can be during the conflict. And nonviolent communication helped me a lot in it. I'm also a mom of teenage children.
And my name is Simeona Ivanov. I'm originally from Bulgaria, but right now recording from Vienna, where I live and work in the last years. And I'm a trainer and educator in non-formal education, organizing seminars, workshops, training courses for people who need connection to nature, to themselves, also to a group of other like-minded people. And I work a lot with community building practices, with sustainability and environment, also deeper connection to nature, discovering how do we belong to our bigger ecosystem. And through my various courses and studies, I also discovered nonviolent communication. And I took a couple of courses and also practiced a lot with different people, including my ex-partner. And I discovered that it's a really powerful framework for relating to other people and relating to ourselves and saying yes to our needs and to our feelings and emotions. So for me, NVC is really, yeah, a strong way to actually be in the world in a more life-enhancing way, supporting others and supporting yourself.
So we can tell you our story, how we met. I was leading 9-day course with another trainer. In the morning or in afternoon, the participant, and Simeon was a participant, they could show their resources, their gifts. And Simeon, you proposed
A Qigong practice, but also a little bit of Kung Fu inspired self-defense.
yeah, and of course, Kung Fu really appealed to me because I love this film, Kung Fu Panda. I don't like normal martial arts film, but Kung Fu Panda, I saw everything. So Kung Fu is for me like, wow, so I came. And during this really short slot, um, we had this idea, well, why not to meet? And we see some aspects of martial arts. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I remember this like that. Do you want to add something to this?
I can add that for me it was Also, a very nice experience to offer this during the MVC seminar and kind of to try to also relate what I practice as martial arts to the NVC practice and somehow the spirit of NVC, which is non-violence, goes very well hand in hand, although it might seem counterintuitive. It goes very well with traditional martial arts principles, which are a lot about being present, being aware, and staying in connection without necessarily going into conflict, because the traditional martial arts are a lot about preventing conflict and de-escalating rather than going into a fight. And Kung Fu has taught me a lot during these years about just being myself, being present, being in my body, and from there staying more grounded and more in touch with my own feelings and emotions. So for me, it was also very exciting that Magdalena decided to join the workshop, because it was an interesting exchange, and also it sparked curiosity about how do we connect these two different methods or different practices. And from there, we started discussing, and an idea came to
The idea
co-create
came to
something.
organize the workshop that we offer you in October, from 9 to 11 October. We called it Hold Your Ground Under Pressure. So it will be about how to stay non-violent and, however, grounded and with your power, without putting another person in under power or giving your power to this person. Really to stay in connection with yourself and another person, but under pressure. This is important. So we are very excited about this event, and you will find the link for registration under this video. Our reflection came in when nonviolence or nonviolent communication breaks down in the real life. I have been in nonviolent communication since 2009. I have my certification paper from 2014, so it's many years in it. And however, still I feel that when I am under pressure, I come back again to my old patterns. So to withdraw, to be scared, and to please people. Yeah, this is one of my main strategy. We start our reflection about how nonviolent communication and martial arts relate to each other and how they can support each other. And I started I had even this moment that I said, oh, nonviolent communication, it doesn't work. But it's not about nonviolent communication, like this approach or this method, but how it is embodied in myself. So from a few years as well, I started to put more and more somatic work. And this is the new aspect, how to link something which from first glance we can think it cannot come together. So when I think about it, when nonviolence communication breaks down in the daily life, it's when we have this difficulty to take this mask off, from the mask of, okay, I'm the person who manage everything, or I'm the person who is nonviolent in every moment. And when underneath there are the emotion which we do not really embody it and we do not really understood. So I think it might really help the principle that you will teach and you will talk, this principle of martial art. I think we can help me and and all those participants that will come to have this nonviolent response more natural and spontaneous, and not like played, yeah, not like managed, but naturally, okay, my heart is open for myself and for another person.
My journey started also in 2009, which is interesting with Kung Fu, which I started practicing since then. And I discovered through the years that this helped me so much with being in my grounded presence and feeling my body in a totally different way. So it was interesting to observe how I changed through the years from feeling much more under stress, like hunched and breathing shortly and feeling like taking postures that are weak or show my inner collapse. And then through the practice and just practicing constantly this kind of presence, awareness, and embodiment, and being much feeling better in your body, a person starts to actually feel grounded, feel stable, and feel open. And then many different things happen because we know how body posture and body feelings influence the mind and how we feel about ourselves. And so for me, this um, connection between NVC principles and martial arts, although it seemed a bit strange in the beginning, makes a lot of sense because we in both disciplines we want to be grounded, we want to be present, and we want to maintain contact with the outer world and with ourselves, and then act from this presence and this awareness, um, making our request or expressing our needs or connecting empathetically to another person. So yeah, this came as an idea from our exchange and our practices that we would like to combine these principles and bring even more embodiment to NVC.
Yeah, to bring even more, I like it because, so a little bit in nonviolent communication, of course, we talk about emotion, we are searching it a little bit, how are you feeling, but there is not like a big work about how you can help yourself through your body, because it goes both way. Your thinking change your body and your body change your thinking. So for me, it's just amazing. I do not any martial art, but I do a lot of dance or some somatic practices, and this is like huge, just opening the shoulders, or just to put down a little bit your sternum, or just to release your knees. They're the small thing, and of course there are many other indications what to do, but it's just amazing, yeah, how we can help each other when we are stressed or when we are under pressure. For me, it's amazing to discover how, because I think a few times you use this word connection, that in martial art, the connection is important. And this is the main point of nonviolent communication. This is not to change myself, to turn another person, to change the world, but to build the connection. And from this point, okay, what we want to co-create. And we have this one of the key differentiation in nonviolent communication, like to be in power over, in power under, and with power with. I think this is really the same place in martial art, this traditional martial art, how to be in this power with, even if someone is with power over and come with to fight, and I want to stay. Okay, I don't know if I understand it well, but it's
and I want to maybe also a bit demystify this power in martial arts, because there is this idea that martial arts have to be very violent and have to be very having an opponent and always winning over the opponent. But actually especially in traditional martial arts, we train and we consider our opponents also as partners because they kind of help us to develop, help us to overcome things.
Mm.
And we try as much as possible not to go into a fight with Kung Fu. It's a lot about preventive use of these skills and also de-escalation of conflict if possible. So actually using of power and force is the last resort. And often it's interesting because the martial artists who train years and years, they don't get into fights so often because they can manage to de-escalate and to be present, be grounded, and then the opponent just is just seeing and observing this. They just don't go into the conflict.
Mm.
While people who haven't trained or they think that they can fight well, but they actually don't have a lot of skill, they go into fights just to prove themselves or to win over someone and to have this kind of power over that we try to avoid in
Yeah.
NVC.
Yeah.
So that's another parallel with both practices when they're practiced in a way that is life enhancing and also connecting people and even opponents, as we say.
Yeah, what inspired me a lot, you don't have to prove yourself because you know your power. You know that's
Mm,
what you can do. This is amazing. I think it's what it's connected, how it connects to nonviolent communication. We have this very overused, I think, sentence in nonviolent communication. Do you want to be right or do you want to
mm,
be in connection? Yeah. So
mm,
I think it's
mm,
quite similar that we don't,
mhm,
when we are really in this nonviolent posture and approach, we don't try to prove to another
mm,
person, I'm right. I know how to speak about my feelings. I know how to recognize my needs and yours as well. We just try to be in connection and see the moments of difficulties, the moments
mm,
of blockages, and not to like escalate us,
mm,
try to de-escalate. I am already again excited
mm,
about our workshop. It's really really interesting, and I think what is important, and this is in our subtitle of our workshop, that we can teach our body and our mind and our
mm,
heart how to stay grounded, how to be open.
mm,
Yeah, and I think it's just amazing to combine those two. The thing that comes to my mind, and this is inspiration from my husband, who for many, many years he did judo, and this is really frustrating for me because he can stay really grounded, like
mm,
poof. I could explode a few times already, and he had kind of patience with this, like okay, I think it
mm,
might come from this practices when, as you
mm,
said, for many, many times we just practice the same. No, we didn't say that, but I just imagined that we practice the same thing. We practice the same thing before going somewhere
mm, mm.
to meet another person.
I think that's a crucial part, the practice of the skill, because that's how we become better and better in it. And I
Mm.
think it's the same with MVC, at least from my experience and
Mm.
also reading people who are much more advanced in this topic, is a lot about practicing this skill and practicing to do it in a way so that we can um, after that react without thinking so much and using this practice as part of our normal way of behaving and it's the same with martial art. We practice these stances, these forms, these practices and punches and kicks that are just the external appearance of the art. But what we really practice is our grounding and our flexibility, our adaptation to the situation, and our being present and aware of what's going on at the moment. How can we best use our skills in this particular moment without going into the fight, flight, or freeze response of our sympathetic nervous systems when
Mm.
we're overwhelmed.
Mm. So now we want to invite you for some small exercise, really small exercise, however, still very powerful, about grounding yourself. So if you are sitting, you can stand up. Of course, you can make it and be sitting still. Yeah. So I noticed that I'm in kind of pressure that I put myself on me to be very clear and be very useful. Yeah, so first thing is notice what's going on in yourself, your thoughts. Like I had this thought in my head, you should do it better, you should be more clear. So just notice this and just let it be. Then notice how your body is feeling, what your body is doing. Like maybe you are very tense, or maybe you are very tired, or maybe very energetic. Just notice. Don't change anything. First thing is observing. And notice, do you breathe? Are you breathing now? Very often when we start something which is important for us or new, we stop breathing. So we can just notice, can you feel your breathing? If not, intentionally just put more breathing into your belly. Maybe you want to make even a sigh when you're breathing out. Ah, a sigh, it's a very good way to release the tension, a little bit of tension. Ah, and then feel your feet, your right foot, your left foot. Maybe you want to change the weight just for one feet and another foot and another foot. But just imagine that your feet, this is your base, this is your roots. They are your roots. You can make them bigger and slowly, slowly put all your weight on your feet by putting more attention to your ankles, to your knees, and check if they are not blocked your knees. Just release your knees. You don't have to bend it purpose, but just to block it. And check, are you breathing? And then go to your hips, and you can move a little bit your hips, like a bit rolling. Noticing how it is to put all the weight of your hips on your feet. Maybe you need to put your feet more largely in distance, one foot from another. And then notice all your spine. In all its length. And you can feel your shoulder. You need to open it a little bit, but not too much. If you open it, just release afterwards. And just feel that your shoulders and your hips are on the same level, like the same underneath one of them. And your head, just you can put your hand, your cheek a little bit backward. And you can imagine that you release yourself to the ground without collapsing, So you have still contact with the sky, the earth around you, the earth. And in the same time, you give all your weight, the weight of your thoughts, the weight of your body. And now you can check which part of you are still tense, or maybe they need some movement to really feel that you're grounded in your body. Maybe I haven't mentioned some part of your body that really needs some attention and to be grounded. And don't remember to breathe. That is the most important ally when we work with the body, with the awareness of the body. Oh, and in the end, you can shake a bit your body. Oh, yeah. And if you want, you can imagine now a little bit stressful situation, not the biggest situation in your life, but a little bit stressful. And how do you imagine? Do you feel a little bit more prepared to enter into the dance with this situation, with this relation, when you are rooted and grounded and with your breathing? Just imagine, there is no good or bad answer. If you say, I'm not prepared, okay, I can make more, what I need to make more. And I'm prepared, that's great. So just notice how does it feel to be more prepared, more grounded. Yeah. So thank you very much. This was very short and simple exercise without not much movement. Maybe you want to add something? Was for you?
It was really interesting, how much my body reacted to the last part where you said to imagine a situation. And then I immediately felt that my stomach becomes more tight and I start breathing more into my lungs. And then I kind of remembered again to ground, to breathe in my stomach and to deepen my breathing. And then I felt like this lightness a bit and expansion. So thank you for this little practice.
What I'm hearing, that we don't need to be prepared like 100% because we can adjust ourselves. Okay, I still tense. Okay, what I can do, the breathing, moving. Yeah, so ongoing practice.
I think it's a conscious practice and with many things that we would like to change in our habits, it's the case that we have to be aware of what's going on and then to react and to adapt our posture, our behavior to how we want really to react and how we want to be in this situation.
What is important that you say how we want and not how we should, we ought, but how we really want to respond, The situation that comes to me, how I could react differently. There was a lot of demonstration a few years ago in Poland. It was about generally human rights, but women's rights, about what happened politically in Poland. So I went with my older daughter. She was like 16 or 15 at the time. And so we went to this demonstration and there was a lot of police and it was kind of a lot of tension. It was not like a police to protect, but police to put us more tight and to really, it was with kind of, pressure. In some moment we said with my daughter, okay, we want to leave. So we had to like a break row of policemen. So they left us finally. But when I was leaving, one of the policemen, he said something, I can't remember. So I turned around and just started to talk to him, But again, with this violent way. And I just heard the voice of my daughter, which was so completely calm. Mom, he's provoking you. Come here. Immediately, just my body like relaxed. I just turned out, even if this policeman was talking still. But I needed this external voice who reminded me this is provocation, or however, maybe this policeman didn't want to do that, but she interpreted like this. And I was surprised how quickly I was in this wheel of fighting or just protecting, to showing I'm important, you know. It could be kind of fight. And of course, I would lose because he had more power in the situation. So I ask myself what if I go for this workshop, this kind of workshop that we when we will offer, that there is more work with the martial art and this on these principles. How could I help myself in this moment to have this voice of my daughter in me inside? How can I maybe have some idea?
Yeah, thank you for sharing this story. And I felt also tensing just by listening about the situation. And I think in these cases, like it's exactly what you say, like how do we have this voice that it was your daughter's voice, but actually to have it from our own. And I think it's the practice of just not reacting from our fighting or flight response, but I think it's something that you acquire with experience and with trying these things and practicing them, to actually, when you're being under attack and you're being verbally or physically attacked by someone, to stay present and stay grounded and react from there, and not from your aggressive response or from your scared, collapsing, flighting personality. And yeah, I think it's something that we need to try, we need to experience, and we need to see how it feels in our body, so that we can practice this way of being and way of behaving.
So first thing that I'm hearing is that we need to know that we have this this part who are aggressive or who withdraw, and then to feel how it is when I respond from the grounded place, to have more choice. Yeah,
Right.
I like to add to this fight, flight, freeze phase, and I can face what's going on. So again, practice how to how to be. Yeah.
And seeing how it's different, because sometimes we just have our habits of behaving in a certain way or reacting in a certain way, and we cannot imagine a different way of responding when we haven't tried it or we haven't learned about it. So I think it's as NVC, until we see how it works and until we see how effective it is, we cannot imagine why we should first empathetically connect to someone or to our feelings and needs and express them in a certain way. But when we try this and when we see how much more effective and how much more, bringing our connection together and our aliveness, then we start doing it because it feels good.
Yeah, because it feels good. Yeah, I like it that maybe very often we are violent with ourselves, with another person, because of lack of imagination or lack of experience that we had, that we could react differently. That I think it makes sense. That it surely makes sense. My daughter had already at the time some preparation with the MOV climatic demonstration. I can't remember the name. So she had some workshops about how to talk with police, how to stay, how to recognize what to talk, when not to talk. So yeah, so she could really recognize the moment. One thing that catches my attention in what you've said, it was my case that coming to nonviolent communication, I had this idea about myself that I'm not violent.
Mm.
I'm never violent, and I don't want violence. And it was kind of a shock in some moments to understand, yeah, I have those parts, violence
Mm.
parts, and to recognize them, to hear them. It was kind of feeling, and that got me more power. Yeah, there was another story. It was not so long ago. We walked with my friend from the high school somewhere in Warsaw, and it was already kind of hot, so I was in a skirt. And there were some drunk men, and he was like approaching to us and saying, "Oh, I buy you a coffee, or I will invite you to the library," or he was checking a few times. And suddenly I just turned to him and said, "Don't even try." And I was like, and he
Mm.
started again, "But why are you so?" And then I showed him this, and he was like, and it's really not my way. And my friend was like, "Oh, you are a nonviolent communication trainer." But it was so good to
Mm.
really, I would love to find another solution. But at the time, I really felt this, okay, this is a protection.
Mm.
And it was not really against him, but really to make
Mm.
protection around me. And in somehow, I don't know, maybe I just try and explain myself, to talk to him with his language,
Mm.
because I don't want to hear it. He doesn't, he didn't stop.
Mm.
But using this language, finally it worked, even if
Mm.
it was violent.
Mm.
Um, but it was again a very good healing for me. Those things I've never did it when I was young, and I should did it few times,
Mm.
and just say no, I don't want it, and I show it with as much power as I can without hurting you and saying
Mm.
you are a buster or you are something. Yeah.
It's interesting to hear how you responded automatically because your body didn't want a boundary crossed and you didn't want your boundary crossed. And then you kind of instinctively reacted with more assertiveness and more
Mm.
groundedness, even though it's not your usual way of reacting.
Mm.
So sometimes, yeah, our bodies can know better even than us and react in a way that is more powerful and kind of yeah, holding our ground in a way. And I think that's what we want to also show and teach in this workshop is this holding our ground, being assertive, but still not being aggressive. So in a way, protecting our boundaries in the way that is needed for the situation. Marshall Rosenberg also talks about the protective use of force,
Mm.
which is a principle that he discussed a lot and he talked a lot about. And it's not about being aggressive or being power over someone, but more when other means are not accessible and normal communication doesn't work. How do you react in a way that stops the aggression of others? And
Mm.
that's what you did in this way, I guess, even though it might seem in a normal situation as something aggressive
Yeah.
and very reactive in this situation. You needed this so that you can protect your boundaries and protect yourself from this aggression from outside.
Yeah, and in the same time, I imagine how I could make this gesture different. Not this one, which is
Mm.
associated with the violence, but
Mm.
have a kind of only maybe posture and just make a hand. Just
Mm.
imagine that. Yeah, it could work, and maybe in this moment it was necessary, and also the neurobiology teaches us this, that to really come to our power from the power under, we have to pass through kind of
Mm.
uh, force, yeah, and maybe
Mm.
aggression even, yeah,
Mm.
kind of
Mm.
violence. So this is, maybe next, I hope, next time, I hope I will not have this situation, but
Mhm.
that,
Yeah, that reminds me also another story from my Kung Fu
mm,
and martial arts practice that in the beginning when I started doing it, I was before that, when I was growing up, I was always a nice person and trying to not to get into conflict, and in a way, maybe too nice sometimes. So when I started doing martial arts and we would do a bit of sparring, but with protection and everything, just to train being in contact with another person, then I couldn't really allow myself to hit someone. So I was just running around and trying to escape the other hits, but I would never hit back. And that was so telling about how I didn't really assert my be more assertive or like protect my boundaries, because it was just in my psyche that I don't want to hit someone for whatever reason. And then I had to learn this bit by bit that I can be in connection and hit a bit, of course, someone who is protected and protected conditions, that we can train this. And even though in this workshop we're not going to train martial arts, it's not a martial arts workshop, we will practice trying different responses, seeing how our body feels, see how other people react to our power and our holding our ground. And yeah, that's as you said, it's a practice of doing a bit more, doing a bit less, seeing where is the sweet spot of not overreacting and not holding back or collapsing.
Yeah, so how my body reacts, but also how my mind reacts when I need to push or to be pushed. Yeah. We can talk a little bit. Yeah, you started already about workshop itself. So this is surely for the people who are interested by their responses to your body. They are curious about themselves and about another person. For the people who they are ready, that they are ready to enter a kind of contact, because it will be physical. Yeah, there will be some touch. Of course, you always can say no, but it will be some touch.
The practice is always done in a way that is agreed and yeah, not going over our own boundaries. As Magda said, there will be physical contact and touch and a lot of NVC practice through embodiment, because NVC is our basic language in this workshop, and that's what we're going to practice.
You don't need to know nonviolent communication, because we will experience those theories or those principles of nonviolent communication. So we will introduce you. You can know very well also nonviolent communication, but you don't need to. You can read more on the website. You find a link under this video. And if you have some question, of course, you are really welcome to write to us or leave us some comments under this video. And yeah, we invite you very, very warmly. I think it would be very intense time, but in the same time gentle somehow, because we will still work on some gentleness for ourselves and for our reactions. And it would be in Warsaw, but it seems like we are already somewhere in the nature, because there is a big garden, there is a sauna, a very nice training room. You can sleep over there. You can come by bus or by car from the center of Warsaw or from Warsaw. Yeah, it's a place with very good energy.
Yeah, and if what we said and what you heard resonates with you, and you feel this reaction and curiosity about coming and experiencing this, don't hesitate to apply and to register, and also to write us or ask any questions that you might have, as Magdalena said.
Thank you, Simeon, for this discussion. I'm really really looking forward.
Thank you, Magdalena, and I'm very excited about this workshop.